Hello YouTube! Flashlight enthusiast here. I have to say that I generally like the Wurkkos flashlights, and here it is, the Wurkkos TD01, and it seems that Wurkkos is trying to enter the tactical flashlight segment here with their new release. So here it is with 21700 cell gigantic optics optimized for throw and SFT emitter. However, they also released the new TD02, which is a smaller variant with 18650 battery and SST40 emitter and also optics. The TD01 is already available on the official Wurkkos website, while TD02, the smaller variant, is only available on the Wurkkos Amazon store as of mid-August 2023. Despite being much cheaper, would they be a fun alternative for the AceBeam tactical flashlights? Well, let's find out. TD01 comes in the modern Wurkkos box with really nice looking flashlight on top and white accents. It is the SFT40 emitter and it's a set version, so it does include the battery. Magnetic opening reveals the packaging that protects the flashlight well in transportation. Inside you do have your welcome letter as well as the user manual with detailed operations available in different languages. A flashlight with the battery inside, last but not least wrist lanyard and double O-ring replacement in case you need that. Finally, there is also USB to USB-C charging cable for internal charging. On the other hand, TD02 comes in an older Wurkkos box with just pure labeling and information about the LED. This one is an SST40 emitter cool white, also a set version, so it includes the battery. Inside you will find same welcome letter with instructions, the manual in different languages, a flashlight well protected in transportation as bubble foil, with pocket clip already attached, same lanyard and double O-ring replacement as you will find in TD01, as well as really similar USB to USB-C charging cable. Both flashlights will have to have the installation film removed before first operation. Wurkkos TD01 features a classic tactical thrower design with a slim body and big voluptuous head. This is really attractive design in my opinion, quite resembling the AceBeam L19 if you know what I mean. However, mind that this is a $40 flashlight, so you have to bear this in mind. You do have this nice soft tail switch that enables the momentary illumination obviously, but there is also this plasticky side switch that leaves you with a little bit disappointment. The knurling is really nice and grippy and I couldn't detect any sharp edges, so this is really nice. On the other side we do have the built-in USB-C charging port under this rubber cover that sits quite tightly, so I wouldn't suspect any water tightness issues. On the business end we do have really nice optics. It does feature the SFT40 emitter, so the beam is really smooth and nice. But on the cool white side, obviously, the optics is covered by glass with anti-reflective coating, which is always nice. Bear in mind that this line on the optics that you can see right here is the normal optics design after the molding process and should not be considered as a faulty product. Combination of SFT40 emitter with this big optics results in really big hotspot with some side illuminations under your feet so that you can really see everything in the dark with a focus of objects ahead of you. Lightly crenulated bezel could be used in self-defense or glass breaking situation. However, due to it being made of aluminum, I would be cautious because it could be damaged easily. Please note that tailstanding on the Wurkkos TD01 is virtually impossible even on the switch engaged. The threads look really nice and clean, and we do have the bonus battery orientation engraving on the tail cap. So we have well lubricated square threads with O-ring seal, really looking clean, and on the other side we do have double spring design to enable the greater current flowing to the SFT40 emitter. There is also battery included in the set, the 5000 mAh 21700 cells, so you don't have to worry about spare cells going in. There's also a spring down there, so again shock recoil resistance should be in place. Once you plug in your USB-C charging cable into the port, the charging will start. The battery indicator under the switch will turn red when the charging has started and it turn green when the charging has been finished. In the manual, it is stated that it depends whether the flashlight is on or off. In the moment that you plug in the cable, it will change the time or duration of charging. When the flashlight is off when you plug in the charging, it should take around 4.5 hours to fully charge the battery. However, if you plug in the flashlight that operates into the charging, the flashlight will turn off and it should take only 3.5 hours to fully charge the battery. Once you unplug it, the flashlight will turn on again. Wurkkos TD02 can operate in two different UI groups, but regardless of the group you choose, once you turn on the flashlight by the rear switch, the battery indicator under the switch will be displayed for 5 seconds, indicating your approximate power. In the standard mode or group 1 or step mode, you basically turn on and turn off the flashlight by the rear switch, and you can also have momentary illumination once the switch is depressed. So standard one, once the flashlight is on, you simply click once on the side switch to advanced in modes, 4 in the loop actually, then you can double tap for turbo output, triple click for strobe mode, and 1 click will return to your previous used mode. There is also a shortcut to the lowest mode. When you hold the side switch and turn on the flashlight by the rear switch, it will go straight into the low mode, okay? But there is also a second group that you switch by turning on the flashlight, holding the side switch for 3 seconds. And it will go into tactical mode when you have the turbo output and medium output, and there is basically it. And it will always turn on in the turbo output regardless of the mode you used before. Strobe mode can be activated by double tapping the switch. 1 single click will return to the previously used mode. Actually, for those of you who only like to use the tail switch, there is also a shortcut to either turbo or strobe mode depending on the mode you use. In order to use that, you lightly tap and then hold the switch to go into the turbo mode or strobe mode. It works as constant illumination as well. On the other hand, we've got the Wurkkos TD02, which is much simpler in its design than its big brother. So we do have 18650 battery format here, similar knurling on a battery tube, definitely less aggressive but also quite grippy even in wet hands or gloves. We do have this simple design head. There were some connotation that it was copied from Weltil, however I'm not really that deep into the history, so if you know anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. We do have the single optic design here, the SST40 emitter that will give you really focused beam. I'm not sure why Wurkkos did not use the SFT40 for a really cleaner and much more pleasant beam, but well, the choice was dictated by some factors that maybe I cannot understand. Nevertheless, the clip is really nice and stiff. Then we have the single switch design. This is a reverse switch, so basically momentary illumination is not possible. However, when you turn on the flashlight, you can simply change modes by lightly tapping the switch. And again, we have 5 modes here in the loop. The lowest one from eco to turbo, and then double tap quickly will go into the strobe mode, single tap will go into the last use mode. So basically a really easy to use, understand UI. There are no shortcuts whatsoever, so bear in mind that if you left it on high mode, you will go into the high mode next time you use it. As you can see, anodization is starting to chip from this one, definitely really cheap flashlight, so please expect some lower quality than you will have on AceBeam, that is much more expensive flashlight. However, I think the quality is really nice for the price. Here on the side you do have your USB-C charging port covered by this really thick rubber cover, so no water intrusion should be possible. The access to USB-C charging ports is really limited, so not all USB-C charging cables might fit. or there is a tight fit. The battery indicator will show you the charging in red. Once the charging has been finished, it will go to green. Again, same story as with TD01. The charging has not been finished while the green indicator appeared. It was still a little current flowing, so bear this in mind. There is also the battery indicator here, so every time you turn on the flashlight it will display either constant green for above 50% power, red for between 20 and 50%, and also blinking red when the charging power is below 20%. I think the quality is really nice here. Even looking at the threads, they do have the square threads, well lubricated, sealed by O-ring, and looking here we have really nice looking spring, simple but effective, nothing more you need really. And in the set there's also the battery included, the 3000 mAh 18650 battery, so it should really be sufficient enough for your daily operations. There is also a spring down there, so some shock recoil resistance also should be in place. One thing I have to point out is that tailstanding is really not that stable because of the protruding switch. Here are my Lumen measurements of the Wurkkos TD01, and here you can see for the T02. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. So let's start with TD01 Turbo here. Unfortunately, I measure way below the specs output of 2000 lumens, but as you can see, we've got around 1 minute and 15 seconds before the output started to step down from around 1300 lumens over the course of 1 minute 45 seconds. Really nice slow step down to around 368 lumen level. So bear in mind that this flashlight will not get hot, 45 to 49 degrees Celsius in turbo output. However, the runtime is really fantastic, nearly 3 hours of runtime. However, mind you that the output is not the highest. And when we look at the high mode, here I measured around 537 lumens, and as you can see we've got visible output fluctuations around again 360 lumens, but we cannot talk about sustainability here at all. Around 3 hours and 3 minutes of runtime, and the flashlight body is stabilized at 40 degrees Celsius. Now the TD02 here, despite being a domed emitter SST40, I measured even lower output at start, and as you can see we've got around 1 minute of turbo output before the flashlight started to step down in series of 2 step downs over the course of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so again way invisible to human eye, to around 417 lumen level, with flashlight head achieving 45 degrees Celsius. So again, over 3 hours of runtime. However, the output is not stable. This is linear degrees, looking way better than TD01, however definitely not ideal here. And high mode of TD02 displays similar behavior, so linear output decrease, one spike after 1 hour and 15 minutes approximately. So we have to bear in mind that these are cheaper flashlights with cheaper drivers, so we cannot expect flat output regulation like in AceBeam for example, but again it is much cheaper. Alright, so how does the cheaper Wurkkos TD01 compare to the much more premium AceBeam L19? Well, the difference is obvious, but how does it operate really in the dark? Unfortunately, I only have the Osram green LED version of AceBeam L19, so it will not be direct comparison. However, I just wanted to show that you really pay for the looks and machining rather than how this flashlight really shines in darkness. And now for the Wurkkos TD02, I'd like to compare it with another AceBeam, the Defender P16. Although it does feature SFT40 emitter, it does show similar results when it comes to throw, and overall design is really similar, so I want to compare again those two side by side and show you what's the difference really in the forest. Okay, well, summarizing, in my opinion, Wurkkos TD01 and TD02 are really great flashlights. You really get what you pay for, so the build and finish is maybe not top notch. However, Wurkkos really did not want to enter this market as it is. You do have really nice build and machining for the price, included batteries, built-in charging, and really basic performance that all tactical users might need. Obviously, I would be cautious with breaking glass or attacking the opponent with this particular one. However, if you pay $40 for such a flashlight, I think you will get even more that you pay for. Obviously, AceBeam does produce much more premium and more robust products with better drivers, but do you really need to pay twice or even triple the price for similar shining product? The answer I leave to you. So looking at the Wurkkos TD01, I can definitely see a throwing potential in this flashlight. The UI is really good with two groups and you have momentary illumination, so really a nice tactical flashlight in my opinion. However, for the TD02, I think it's more like a tactical EDC rather than real tactical because of lack of momentary illumination function, as well as really being stuck in a last used mode position. In my view, both flashlights display some minor problems with charging reliability, however they do function quite well even if not fully charged. Also, please do have in mind the overall performance of the drivers and the LEDs used in those flashlights. Summing up, I hope you enjoyed this review of the new Wurkkos Tactical TD01 and TD02 flashlights. If you did, consider hitting the like button and hit the subscribe button to support the channel algorithm and not to miss any future videos that I release. Also, if you have any questions or personal experience with those flashlights, please leave them in the comment section down below and let us know what you think about those. If you are interested, I do have some coupon codes for Amazon store of Wurkkos for the newest release. So if you're interested, check it out. Thanks so much for watching and your support, guys, and we will see you in the next one.